Spectacular scene over New York City, and one of my all-time favorite songs by someone we're going to talk about right now. For many, the music of Marvin Gaye defined their childhood and defined a generation. But while we all know his music, many may not know the man. And that's about to change. With us this morning, the writer of the memoir, My Brother Marvin, Zeola Gaye, and Clifton Powell, director of one of the stars of the show, currently playing at the Beacon Theater. And Zeola, this is truly a candid portrait of Marvin Gaye. This is not something, a simple Broadway kind of musical type thing, right?
Exactly. I really portray Marvin, the man behind the music. I go deep into the background, you know, from childhood up, and even I deal with my father's childhood and my mother's, you know, days of, you know, I felt that if you know their origin and where they came from and things that went on in their life, you can see how things were passed on through generations.
And you also get into the difficult circumstances of his murder, correct?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So this isn't anything skimmed over, this is the real deal, right?
This is the real deal.
And Clifton, you're actually playing a role. Tell us about it.
I play Marvin's dad. And,
right.
Father was a very complicated man, and but what we get a chance to see is, although Father did shoot Marvin at the end, we see all the things that led up to, you know, that kind of dynamics between the two, and it's very complicated. But Father also came out of dysfunction, so we talk about breaking generational curses of dysfunction in this play, and it's very interesting progression as we see young Marvin, middle Marvin, and older Marvin, and we see him, you know.
And Lynn Whitfield plays Marvin's mother?
Yes.
Yeah, and it appears to be spectacular here. And we talk about this not being a musical, but I got to tell you, just hearing this music, which is some of really the greatest music of all time, is spectacular in and of itself. Is it not, Zeola?
Definitely, definitely. But I have to say that the music that we have, it was inspired by Marvin, and it's also fantastic.
Now, how hard is it for you to relive this?
It's kind of therapeutic for me. After I wrote the book, that really helped. So watching this every night, I think 52 times, you know, I look at it from a different perspective. I'm just checking to make sure that the actors have my family portrayed correctly, certain things, which I think is really good. I might say, you know, my father wouldn't do that, or my mother wouldn't do that, and they appreciate that. You know.
Is it strange, though, to see your family put up there by people who are, you know, playing a role, but you have to say, wait a minute, oh no, that's exactly how it is. How strange is it for you to be watching?
It's really, let me put it this way, Dick. They do such a fantastic job. It's almost like my parents and Marvin's spirit jumped into each one of the actors, because they really come off very well. I really don't have to give them a lot of coaching. It's like they got it. I'm sitting there looking at, wow. I told Cliff, I said, my father walked just like that, Cliff, and he didn't know.
How do you do that? You didn't know the man. How do you do that? I think everybody wants to know that about actors.
You know, there's a judge in Detroit named Judge Strong, and he has the most eclectic qualities about him. And I watched the clip of Father in the last 24 hours, so I kind of combined those two characters and came up with it. And Zeola said, you walk just like my dad. I was like, I'm going to stick with that. You know, so, you know, it's just part of your training, you know, part of your training.
Well, I got to tell you, I mean, just hearing the music and knowing what a complicated life this was, I know I would love to see this.
Yes.
And we know right now that My Brother Marvin has 2 shows today at the Beacon Theater. So if you're like me, a huge Marvin Gaye fan, you might want to head over. For more information, go to our website, cbsnewyork.com. We're back in a moment with the day's top stories. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was so fun.